Hi all, this is Cheryl with Coco Daisy's design team, and I'm going to make a pocket page insert for my personal rings setup for the month of June. With the planner kit, you get folded papers, and I'm going to use one of these. And then I have this piece of cardboard that's the exact size of my pages that I've kept, and I use it as a stencil. So it just makes it easier rather than having to measure everything. I can just trace it, which I've already done. So I've got pencil mark here, and then this side here in my, I do have a little pencil mark. This side is easier for me to trim on this trimmer than this direction, because this is the small 9-inch travel size for Tonic Studios. It's my favorite paper trimmer. So I've already traced the cardboard onto my paper, and I'm going to measure this at 3.75 inches. I'm going to cut this off all the way because I don't need that. And then what I've done now is to make this easier to fold up when it's in my planner is I just traced a corner edge. So I want to cut that. I just line up the pencil marks on both sides so that I can trim it. And then you'll see when I open this, there's a triangle cut out. That allows me to fold these up, and then for this to close without there being extra paper that will bind in the center. So a lot of times I find it easier to use something heavy, such as cardboard or plastic, even cut down to the correct size. So then I'm going to fold this in on both sides. There are other ways to do it, but I find this is super easy. Okay, now that I've folded those in, you'll see when it closes that it closes easier. This is hanging off a little bit, so I'm going to trim that down. But before I do that, I want to score or burnish, which is actually going to give a nice crisp fold. I'm going to make sure that this one is tucked in properly. It lines up here at the bottom, and then I probably won't have much to trim at all. Okay, so now that those are folded, yeah, see, I was able to get that to go in. The next thing I'm going to do is run this through my laminator so that I can hole punch it, and it'll be nice and sturdy, and it will actually seal these folds down. And then I'm going to use my blade to just open that up. So let me go ahead and do that, and I'll be right back. Okay, I use the Fellows laminator. I actually got it from Office Depot. And then this is 5mm thick laminating paper. And I usually tuck one side all the way up, because then I don't have to worry about this side opening, because this is already pre-sealed. And then on this side, I just trim it so that it's outside of that. Now you can make the folder a little bit smaller actually, I'm going to do that. I'm going to trim probably 1/8 of an inch off. That way when I laminate it, it won't stick out too far from my pages. Although I'm going to put an index tab on it. Okay, so here it is, laminated. You'll see I did it flat. I took this and I shoved it all the way to the side that was pre-folded, so I don't have to trim that much. And then I just need to trim this side and, of course, the top. And it does not matter if you trim this all the way to the paper line on the top, because it will stay sealed. on this side, I want to leave about the same amount when I trim it that I have on this side. And then, this is the trickier part because this is pretty firm. We want to fold this just at the pre-folded spot. So now you have a folder, and it's nice and sturdy. And I'm going to take my, here we go. My trimmer blade, and I have a metallic ruler around here somewhere. I don't know what I did with it. I'll probably use this one. So what I'm going to do is, you'll see that there is a tiny little air bubble here. You want to trim very lightly here and here. Don't cut too deep or you'll cut all the way through. But you pretty much just want to open up this gap so that the paper underneath will separate. And if you didn't do it hard enough the first time, go back and do it again. There you go. So you can see that this is now open. And I need to do it here, the same place. I do like the see-through ruler. You want a sturdy one, not a flimsy one, to line this up with because you can see through it. But if you're doing a lot of cutting with a blade, you're going to want to use a metal ruler because that keeps you from damaging the plastic ruler. And then now you have two pockets that closes. Now, if you have a really good sturdy hole puncher, you can hole punch this and place it in here, or you can leave it as a folder and tuck it in a pocket of your planner. It will protect everything from being bent as you pull it in and out. And I'm planning on putting some extra stickers here. Usually what I do is if I have larger sheets, I will trim them down so they slide in here nicely. Oh, the other thing I like to do is round the corners. Again, you need a sturdy corner rounder, and I use this brand. And just push this in all the way. This takes the sharpness off those corners because laminated paper can be pretty sharp if you leave it with a sharp corner. Oops, that didn't trim off all the way. There we go. So now, nice and safe. It's not going to scrape you, and you've got a laminated folder with pocket pages. I have to see if I can hole punch this. Sometimes I can't with the hole puncher I have. I need to order a new one. This is the one I'm currently using, and it's a great one. It's just sometimes the holes start to get a little dull after years of use. All right, the other pocket I'm going to make real quick is a clear pocket with some embellishments inside. And so I'm taking my double sheet of laminating paper, which is the 5mm, and I'm going to line this up in my trimmer. Hopefully it'll fit. If not, I have to go to the bigger one. Let me get the bigger one. There we go. This one actually cuts, I think it's 14 inches. Anyway, it takes up too much space on my desk, so I leave it on the floor. Okay, so I'm going to line this up then to the 3 7/4. And then this does have an arm that folds out, but for this purpose, to keep it underneath the camera, I'm going to use my chipboard and line it up for 6.75 inches and cut the bottom. So now this is the size that I'm going for. And I just need to decorate the inside real quick. And then I'm going to send it through the laminator. Okay, in order to make this a pocket page, what I did is I took the laminating paper, I turned it inside out. So the frosted side, or you can feel the textured side is going to match up to the textured side on both of these. And then I slid it inside this piece to make sure that it all lines up. Oh, I need to pull it up a little bit because I need the bottom to seal. And then I'm going to slide it all the way in. I want it to go right up to this edge here. I'm going to mark where I want this to end with my trusty pencil. We'll use this pencil. Okay. And I'm going to pull this out. Make sure the edges match up. And I'm going to trim just inside that pencil mark. Because again, I want to make a pocket, so I need it to seal on both sides. But I want the pocket to be pretty much lined up. Trim that off. So I did it about there. I'm going to take the laminating paper, make sure it's all lined up, and that again, the sticky sides are on both facing, not the sticky, the rough side are sticking out on both sides, so that when I tuck it in, it will laminate against the outside paper. Because I left this, it's making it just a little bit more difficult to slide in here. There we go. Then I've decided on a couple of embellishments. I'm going to put this right here. It says, "Bend, don't break." And then I love these little fish. They're all on sticky paper. And I'm going to place it there. This is making sure all the dirt's not actually inside. To make a circle. Slide this back down a little bit because somewhere along the line I pushed it up. Make sure it's equal. And then I have these little glitter shapes. I'm going to sprinkle a few inside. It's just random. It does not need to be perfect. Okay, now I'm going to send this through the laminator and be right back. Okay, here's the finished or the laminated pocket page, but now I need to take my ruler again and burying it under things. And my blade. And also very carefully open up this pocket. Didn't quite get that one. Let's do it one more time. There we go. Now I have a pocket. And again, I'm going to measure it up to this to see how we're doing. Looking good. Gonna go ahead and round those corners so they're not so sharp. And this little guy slid. I'm just gonna trim him off. There we go. And this will fit in my hole puncher. Now you have a clear laminated pocket page using Cocoa Daisy's Koi Pond, and I put in some fun little sprinkles.